Hey there to my 37 subscribers, my future subscribers, and all the people that secretly watch me without subscribing. Today we're here to talk about Chapter 8 in my book Adrift of Pawns. This chapter is called Saving the World versus Saving Yourself. And I'll just get into it to explain the difference. A lot of people, they have the tendency to want to save the world. They want to save everybody, save all their friends, save all the people they care about. But you can't really save them from themselves unless that's really what they want deep down. And most people don't. Most people have to reach a point in their life where they can't handle anything else before they will make a change. And if you can't sit there and say, oh, I've been in their shoes, I've gone through this before, I know what it's like, because the reality is no two people think and feel the same way. And you can take a dozen people and expose them to the exact same event, and it will affect every single one of them differently. Some of them may not be affected really much at all, and others could be completely traumatized for the rest of their lives. So don't think that however you fixed your problems will fix somebody else's problems. I'm sure it can, but it can't fix everybody's problems, and you can't expect people to do whatever it is you did with the assumption that their life will be turned around exactly like yours was, because it's not going to happen. And people really don't change because you want them to. They don't change because somebody else wants them to. Sad to say, a lot of them don't change just because the people they love want them to. They don't even change just because they got in trouble. They have to really, deep down, feel the need to change, or it's just not going to happen. And if you try to force them to make changes, and they are unable to do it because either they don't want to, or they just cannot do the things you want them to do, then there'll be tension between you, and could cause fighting, could cause you guys to stop speaking. So please don't do that. If somebody does say they want to change, just offer them moral support. Even if they say they don't want to change, offer them moral support anyway, and maybe eventually they'll decide to. And so just offer them the moral support. Don't force it. Encourage them, congratulate them when they do make accomplishments, and just make sure you stay sincere and respectful. And now, as far as saving yourself, okay, saving yourself is something you can do. And in order to do that, first you have to let go of the things you can't control. Most things in life, you cannot control the outcome. Sometimes the choices that you have may make you feel like you don't have any choices, but we all have choices. No matter what the situation, there's always a choice. Whether that choice is a physical, tangible choice, or it's an emotional or psychological choice, we all have them. Sometimes the choices aren't great, but we still have them. And for example, when you move, okay, when you're a kid and your family decides to move, you really don't have the choice of moving or not moving, but you do have the choice of how you act and how you react to the situation. If you are mad about it and you're having a fit, everybody's going to be miserable. If you accept the fact that you have to move temporarily, and it is temporary, nothing's permanent, If you accept the fact you have to move for, a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, until you move out on your own, just accept it, and everybody will be happier, including you, whether you think so or not. Being miserable and making other people miserable will not make you happy. So as a child, the choice is how you react to it, how you feel about it, and your attitude. As adults, we decide where we move. Sometimes we don't have the luxury of deciding when we move, because there are times when things happen and we get kicked out of where we're at, or we just can't afford to stay where we're at and we have to move. But we still have choices. And for example, if you have, say you're living with a roommate and you both have to move, you have to leave the place you're in, you may not have a choice over that, but you do have a choice, if you go together or if you go separately. You have a choice, again, over your attitude towards a situation. Don't be mean to people when there's no reason. Don't be mean to people if it's out of their control. Don't even be mean to people if it's in their control. Just accept that something has to be done. Decide what has to be done for yourself and make that choice and follow through. People sometimes say they can't afford to move, or they can't afford things that they want, and most of the time it's because they're overspending. A lot of times people will, pay for things that really are not needed, and they think it's needed because that's just what they're used to. But if you're trying to save a little bit of money, you might shut off your cable. You might cut back on your phone service. You might, or even just cut back on your cable and not end it completely. But you have choices. And if you're overspending and you want something, then cut back on whatever you're overspending on. And then, worry about your own choices, not what other people are doing. If somebody else makes a choice, sorry about that, if you have, say, a group of friends and you all decide to move somewhere, and then you have to move again, and you're all talking about moving together, but one of them decides to do something different, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Let them make their own choices. Let them decide what's good for them, and worry about what's good for you. And if someone asks you for your opinion, give them your opinion. Don't tell them what to do. Just say, hey, if it was me, this is what I would do. But, I'm sure there are other options out there, but this is just what I would do in this situation, or what I think I would do, because really nobody, like I said, no two people have the exact same situation, because everybody is affected differently. And anyway, so that's it with that chapter, and hopefully it helps somebody. And if you know somebody else that might need to hear something in the video, feel free to share the video with them. And please like, subscribe, comment, give me your thoughts, tell me about situations you've been in, as long as you don't say people's names that you shouldn't. And I will be back in a couple of days, few days, this weekend. So anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.
No, let it, she lightweight. Famous if you let her tell it, okay. I'ma let her tell it. Her man mad at me, but he lightweight jealous. Cause my money too long and I'm on like Ellen. And he playing with change money show like Relic.